Hello. So, I decided for a lot of different reasons that I wanted to make a little guide on how to effectively be able to dodge most, if not all, of the bosses of Hollow Knight. I'm not sure if this is going to be like a, no, just one session kind of thing or not, but I might split it into parts. I still have to, I still have to figure that one out for me. First, let's swap the language to English, so it's a bit more comprehensible. And then we're gonna get straight into it. So yeah, basically one of my friends is playing this game and she somewhat struggles on bosses. So I decided to make a little guide on how to effectively be able to dodge most of them. Let me just turn down the volume of this. So yeah, um, the main issue is me being on vacation for quite a while very soon. So I just thought I'd leave her this tiny guide so that she has something to fall back on if she gets stuck trying to finish the campaign. Yep. So this is a little bit of a spoiler for DLC, but I doubt it's the DLC that she intends to play anyway. So we're just gonna ignore this for now. Alright. Let's start. I'm gonna start with Grossmother. Grossmother being one of the easiest bosses. So she only has two attacks. Either she charges straight at you, or she goes up and down. If she goes up and down like this, it's all about the timing. You can just walk underneath. You can also use this time to slap her every time she hits the ground, if you want to be more aggressive. So before you know what attack it is, just keep your distance, and when you see it, just, you know, punish her every move. Also, I intend not to equip any charms to make this any easier or harder for me, so we'll see how that goes. I kind of expected it to die there, to be honest. Oh well. There we go. So, Grossmother done. Let's move on to the next. So, after Grossmother, we have Vengefly King. My friend also defeated this one already, but let's also just do it. It's rather straightforward. If he charges down low, you just jump up and try to get a pogo on the way. And that is all the attacks that it has. It's really straightforward. You can use a spell right after the pogo for an extra hit, and also you kind of want to make sure to hit those for some extra soul. Charge, fireball, just like that. Pogo, fireball, fireball. I like to use RB for like quick cast to get a double hit with a double fireball on this, but yep. It's nothing too hard, it's nothing too crazy. Also, I'm not going to use any special spells in this, except for the normal one. Keep it nice and simple. Here we get it. There we go. So that was the Vengefly King. Off to the next. So, Brooding Marleg. He is somewhat easy and somewhat hard. Really depends on when you do it. If you go too close, he's going to use the claw to start striking at you. So if you get close, you get a punch in, you don't stay too long because you want to avoid that blade. If he does this and spits a whole bunch, just switch to the other side to avoid getting hit. There's a lot of time to get hits in because before the giant load hits the ground, he's not going to slap you with his arms at all. So you can make a lot of use on that extra time to damage him. And that was the Brooding Marlek. So, next one, Fortnite. Also, to keep this a little bit simpler, I think I'm going to exclude Dream Bosses for now. Because I just have the hopes that she's not going to start fighting Dream Bosses before I'm back. So, this guy also quite easy, you've already done him, you know him. Strike him twice, you can get some extra strikes in here. The things fall down, you can actually use them to like projectile them at him. When he jumps, just walk underneath every time you can. When he charges up his attack, it means it's gonna be a bit more heavy and it's gonna create a shockwave. But other than that, you should be pretty much safe. Already done. Off to next. So, next we have Hornet. When she does this, just jump up. If you do a quick jump, you have enough time to punch her again. Also, this is where I explained, if you don't move and just jump and time it right, you can still dodge most of her attacks. Like, I'm just not going to move right now for a while. Okay, I moved. Didn't have to though. Okay, time to attack her. So yeah, it's straightforward. When she throws the thing and like takes it back on a string, there's actually a lot of time to get hits in. You can technically dodge it and hit her multiple times with it. Yeah. Also, the nice thing about hitting her with spells is that sometimes you get double hits in for a lot more damage, but you need to make sure that there's enough space behind her. You can pogo off this needle as well to avoid falling into it if you want. You can jump up and hit her with spells while she's doing that attack. Pogo off the nail, no problem. Yep. Yeah, Hornet is very straightforward. Okay, she's going for the simple ending, so I'm just gonna skip the other version. Let's go to the next one. This guy right here, the Moss Charger. I mean, you either just want to hit at the right timing to get loads of damage in, then jump up and pogo. Or if he does a jump, you just dash forward. And that's all you have to do. Get the right timing on those strikes, jump up and pogo. And then when he's jumping instead of charging, just dash forward once and you're golden. This is one of the easiest bosses in the entire game, so it should be fairly doable. So this guy is somewhat simple to dodge because you don't really have to, you just have to time your strikes right on these guys. You would like to have pretty high damage nail at this point, just so you can destroy those things in one punch. If you don't have it, this fight gets a lot harder, as 2 strikes on these are just more difficult to time really. But other than that, nothing too special here. Sometimes you gotta drop down. Timing to heal is a bit low on this, but you do have somewhat of a constant flow of soul. But yeah, it's doable. It's definitely doable. So this is not about movement, this is more about like striking the right time and everything. You might have a different spell that makes a lot more damage, which should make this a lot easier as well. But overall, not really a hard fight by any means. After one of my favorite fights in the game, the Mantis Lords. At the start you just have to fight one, which makes this rather easy. If he charges you down low, just jump up when he goes from the top, either walk or dash to the sides. Every time you do, you can attack him. Every time he attacks you, you can attack him back. What I mean by this is if he dashes down, just avoid and strike him. He's on the wall like this, just go up to him and punch him again. When he charges the ground, just jump up and go for the pogo. All those things make this fight not too hard. If just pogoing on him once when he charges below you is not enough and you want to try to really, you know, get more damage in there, you can actually gun him a second time when he's at the end of his charge. Which I'm going to do very soon here. So you can punch him like this when he comes down. Always see how low he is so you can inspect the radius. And this is what I mean by double striking. One pogo and another when he's on the side, basically. So now you have 2, which makes it a bit harder. Right here you want to jump up and pogo, which is definitely going to help. And they're like this, just walk to the side and jump to the middle. Pogo this, slash here, double strike right there. So it's basically the same. It's just 2 at once, which makes it a lot more hectic, but the avoiding technique is pretty much the same. You can get a double pogo hit, which is very satisfying as long as you stay in the middle when they charge you on the 4 level, which is nice. And other than that, this fight is, yeah, pretty straightforward, I'd say. Definitely takes some getting used to, but if done correctly, it's by far one of my favorite fights. I think this might even be my favorite fight in all of Hollow Knight. I've practiced it a lot. He said and then got hit. Alright, to the next one. So this one shouldn't be too relevant. I think I'm gonna skip this one. This one I doubt you'll see him, but sure, let's do it anyway. I haven't done this one quite often, so I might have to get used to it myself, but we'll see. So when he teleports behind you, you can just dash away. And when he charges you, you can always jump. Jumping and pogoing is quite effective against him, to be honest. As his reach is not too far, it is quite alright. Here you just have to see the angle of those spikes. Yeah, but in general, just always dashing right when he's about to charge you makes him end up almost exactly where you're standing, so it shouldn't be too harsh. Right there, when he does that, he's exhausted, great chance to heal up. Well, and if you remember my streams, this is actually one of the attack commands that is quite annoying. But it's okay, you should just keep moving and it should be alright to dodge and avoid most of these attacks. Yeah, you can definitely see I haven't had as much practice with this one, but I still think it's highly doable. Spells are again definitely one of your best friends. And yeah. I don't know. I don't have too many comments on this one. He's quick, but he is doable. Yeah, I haven't been optimistic to give any special advice. Gotta be honest here. Alright, up to one of my favorites. I have one special technique for this guy that is not that easy to pull off, but really satisfying when you do. So right here, it's a question of staying low or jumping. When he jumps up, just stay close to him. When he does that, when he stays on the bottom floor, just jump up to dodge it. He jumps, just move to the side. It's always the same distance that those bubbles have, so it's not too hot getting used to it. See him do like this, he's gonna jump ahead, just stay on the floor, you'll be safe. When he does his dash, he travels about 75% of the arena. So if you're completely to one side and he's off to the other, you know that you'll be safe even though he is charging at you. Also, right after each attack, if you're quick enough, especially when you have quick focus equipped, you should have no trouble healing in this fight. I'm waiting for him to start a special attack, and if he does, there's two different methods. One where you just practice avoiding it. Also, this is what it's like when he's stacked, so you can heal up. So one where you just avoid the attack, and the other where you do a substantial amount of damage. At some point, those ghosts are about to show up. I don't find them too hard, as normally they'll just take one strike to take out, and they guarantee to get more soul and get like your spells up that you can use for some extra damage. Though I understand that for some it might make the fight a lot more hectic and more difficult. So this is the attack that I meant. If you have enough distance, sometimes you're safe just at the edge of the arena. If you're not, it can be harder to dodge. However, when he does that attack, it's televised quite well because he jumps in the middle a lot more obvious, or just in a different way, and he stays there for a long while. It is possible to keep pogoing during the entire attack while also evading all of the orbs. It is, however, not easy, but when you do, it feels very satisfying. So I'm going to try to pull it off when he does the attack again. Here we go. Oh, that was a bad example. But basically, you can see I keep pogoing, but also I keep adjusting, so moving left and right. Let me try this again. Okay, I already killed him. So yeah, basically you pogo, you start on the right, and then you go to the left while keeping pogoing him, and then go to the right again, while evading all of those bullets. When you get the timing down, you're not gonna get hit once. If you don't worry. You really don't have to. Okay, this is Nosk. Basically, if you stay in this edge, you're pretty safe, so to speak. Just like, always hide here and he's going to run over you. And you can basically just flash out when he does, and then position yourself anew, and you should be fine. Gives you a lot of healing options as well. When I'm here, I can just heal up, get a punch in there, get back here. This fight just takes a long time. If you just be patient with this, you are really safe. Like this, he sometimes gets into the ceiling, just moves slowly. And you should be fine to avoid those, and be ready for him to drop down at once though. So like right here, I move slowly to lure him, and I try to make him land just above this edge, so then I can just up slash like this 3 times. Getting that timing down does take some good use too, but when you do, it feels very nice. And right here, I get hit twice, doesn't really bother me that much. Just switch to the edge, heal up a little bit, and I wait for him to be above me again. And yet again I try to make him drop just above this edge to get in some strikes, and then switch to the other side and heal up. So yeah, that is basically the gist of it. Yeah, I'm gonna play a lot more aggressive now, which I do not recommend, but I'm just trying to get this fight done quickly. Because I think I've already explained the general gist of how to avoid the damage. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, the next one is the Collector. When you do this fight, you want to have at least, I think, 2 upgrades on your name. Otherwise it's just too hard, and I wouldn't recommend doing it. So the main thing he does is do those little jumps at you that are a little bit hard to predict, but also he drops down the jars. The jars do have 3 different types of enemies that can land on you, and I do recommend just hitting the jars as soon as they land for an instant slash on the enemy that's dropping. You do not want the arena to start filling up with random kinds of little enemies, because that just makes it a lot harder, and you definitely want to avoid that. Also, one thing to note is that when you hit the Collector, you actually do not gain any soul, so it is advised to be careful with your soul spending in this fight. Yep. I gotta say, fighting them all without any charms does make it a lot harder. So I still have to get used to it. But as you see, just like making sure the arena doesn't fill up too much really helps a lot with this fight in general. So yeah, always does the same sort of little jumps, so just keep your distance. I'll try to stay close and make him jump above you. But in general, I'm not a big fan of that fight. Gonna skip this one, not gonna skip this one. So, this guy either points his laser right at him. Every time he does point the laser at you, you do have a lot of time, and he does it where they last were. So there's different strategies. One thing you can do is just jump a lot and try to make him up, like aim up in the air, like this. When you make him aim up in the air, of course there's still a lot of risk, but you're trying to get him aim like very high, like this, so you have the time to like attack him. I do not recommend that strategy. Instead, what I do recommend is just jumping over him and dashing every time he aims at you. Dash, attack, attack, attack. Jump, dash, attack, attack, attack. Yeah, he's not too bad. can get a bit tricky avoiding the lasers that come from above and his own laser, but in general I think he should be fine. This one's a spoiler, so it's going to be avoided. This one I don't think is going to be very relevant very soon, neither is this one. So, let's move up here. This one you've already done, but I'm still gonna do him. So for him, he always appears at the top or from the side. When he does those orbs, it's really helpful just to stay close to the wall, so you make them just hit the wall, and they do not, you know, behave like a boomerang and come back at you. Other than that, his attacks are pretty basic. Every time the orbs comes, you just jump. When he dashes, you just jump and pogo. Also, if there's enough room behind him, it's definitely worth casting a spell, because sometimes they do hit for double damage, which is nice. Yeah, when he does teleport above you, just dash to the side and you should be golden. Yep. This one I've already got a separate video for, and this one is Doma. Let's go for Doma. Alright, so there is a spell that you're gonna get later on, which I hope you already have by the time that you fight this guy. It's definitely gonna help you. But anyway, for now, so when he does those, just keep your distance. You can kind of play volleyball, just like, you know, try to keep him in the air and up slash him while he's jumping like that to get him some extra damage. When he does those diving jumps, just jump up, poke on him once and get behind him. That's the safest thing to do. As I said, right here you can always just, you know, keep him up in the air, get some extra damage in. Some spells in there. Pogo, just like that. Special mode of him, stay in the corner. It's probably the safest thing to do. And just wait it out. When the thing is about to hit you, just up slash it to make it not hit you. And that's pretty much all you need to know. One thing when he dives down below the earth, which you can do, is actually you can get him out if you use the special spell. The one that you use to hit the ground. I'm waiting for him to dive down. See, right here, I do the spell, I get him out of the air. Out of the ground, out of the air. But, makes it a lot easier. Yep, that's Doma for you. Nah. I think you should be strong enough to just fight those on your own. Don't want to include them in this guide, do I? Good, do I? Yeah, sure, why not? So, watch your knights. Unskillable, you have to do this one. Pogoing is definitely your friend in this one, but when they do this roll that is televised with a little jump at the start, you know they're gonna jump upwards and definitely gonna hit you if you just keep pogoing them. So do pogo, but be mindful of them attacking. Also, after a while, you're not gonna fight one of them, but two at once, which does make it a lot harder. You're gonna want to have both of them on the same side of you, so either both to your left or both to your right. The reason for this is your spells being able to hit through. So basically right here I go to the left and then I use spells to hit both of them with one spell to get a lot more damage in. Also another thing, if they're both in the same spot and you pogo them, you do get twice the soul because you get soul for each. You can go to the side and hit him with more spells as well. Right here, nice triple spell damage. They are hard. They're gonna be hard. This is gonna take a while, believe me. Even when I speedrun, this is the most annoying fight for me as well. So try not to be too, you know, too annoyed with this. This is gonna take some getting used to. But you'll manage. I really like pogoing this fight a lot. But it's really hard to keep track of both of them, as well as their movement. So as I said, when you're able to make them both stuck in the same position, you're definitely in luck. Right here I go to the side, I cast a spell, hit them both. And sometimes I think it's almost impossible to avoid the damage. As you see, I'm definitely struggling. These ones are hard. I'm not gonna lie. These ones are gonna be pretty annoying. Let's do this again, see if I got any more tips. Yeah, when they don't jump during the initial roll up, you know that they're just gonna charge the ground. When they do bounce like this, they are gonna jump up one, like high, very high once, and then mid-high another time. What you can do is just keep your distance then, or you can wait for the first jump and dash underneath the second. Right here they're perfectly synced, right on top of each other. So I'm gonna go to the side, cast some spells, and then try to get pogoing again. When you're able to kill one of them, definitely just wait for the other one to do their attack, dodge it, and then use the time to heal, as it takes quite a time for the other one to spawn. And you'll definitely want to make the best of that time. Right here, one guy died, like the other one attacked me, I dodged it and I had time to heal up twice. With quick focus you should be fine healing up maybe even 3 times right there. Yeah, they're nicely stacked. I fill up all my soul rather quickly. I nicely dashed underneath the first attack. And now I'm gonna cast, as they're both to the same side. Drop down before the first one. Ooh, and got a very nice double kill on him. Let's go. By then, you're definitely gonna have the other spell, because that's what you're currently working on. So make use of this very nice deep attack. One of the many reasons is that you get invincibility frames, and it's definitely gonna make this fight a lot easier. Also, when you're like this and you're down to just one guy, it also gets super easy, mainly because one of them is so much easier to dodge than two. And after each roll attack, you have time to heal up. But don't get greedy, only heal up 1 health at a time, like this, and you should be fine. Yeah, but definitely the Descending Dart, what's called, I think, the spell that goes downward is definitely your friend in this fight. No doubt about it. Those two I'm gonna skip. As well as this one, and this one, and this one. And this one, and this one. You're gonna do all of those on your own. Only this one that's DLC content, DLC content, DLC content, and very much not important for a long while. So I think those are the most important bosses for you for now. They definitely are. So I am gonna leave some timestamps. I don't want to spoil you for the final boss, so I'm not showing it. But this is like pretty big variety of different kind of bosses that you're gonna definitely be fighting. And I'm gonna leave some timestamps in the description below, so you can just skip ahead, look at the video, maybe get some ideas. And yeah, I wish you best of luck, and hopefully you'll make it till the end. See ya, bye.